What's up, guys? Dev here. It is Sunday and it is time for another video review. I had kind of a crazy weekend, forgive me if I'm a little scatterbrained, but yeah, just glad it's over. Glad to be sitting in the chair, recording, and getting to have a little fun, you know, relaxing, winding down. As you can see, I eliminated the bear that had taken over my face and replaced him with a small Swanson-esque mustache. Not that I can ever live up to that, man. However, totally have to try where you can, right? Right. So let's get right into it. Today's review is going to be on the Mig Sigs Cigalike, okay, or analog-alike, or just electronic cigarette. I guess we could always just call it that too, huh? But this is a manual button Cigalike. Okay, so it uses these little cartridges, similar to something you may see from like a Blue or a gas station cigarette, the little $10 ones you can buy that are just single-use, non-rechargeable. But this one is rechargeable. So why would I take the time to review this? What interested me enough to want to take the time to make this a full-on review? Well, after using it for a couple days, it's impressive to me for a couple of reasons. Mainly, though, what caught my eye right off the get-go was this thing fires at 4.2 volts. So to some people that may not be incredible, but to other people that know a little bit more about these kind of things, this is another manual style battery. This one, I believe, is about a 280 milliamp hour battery, I think, and this also 280 milliamp hour. This might be a little less, like 200, something like that. But regardless, this fires, this guy right here, this Joytech manual battery I have, that fires at about 3.3 volts. Same for this guy. This is a little Enjoy King, you know, their little free sampler that they sent me in the mail. So also about 3.3 volts. Some may fire at 3.7 volts. However, I've never run into one that fires at 4.2 volts. Never. That's the first time I'd ever heard of that. So this is a 280 milliamp hour battery here. I also have another that they sell that is a 380 milliamp hour. Also fires at 4.2 volts. So you can see they've got different styles here, white and black. So if you want a more cigarette-esque looking device, you've got choices there. The small batteries also come in white as well. So you get some options there, which I kind of like. But they use these little, I believe, are 808D. I'm 99% sure these are 808Ds, but they use these little cartridges, okay? And they're pre-filled, and they come, you can buy different flavors on the website. Their 5 flavors at the moment are blueberry, vanilla, menthol, Sahara, and Red Zeppelin, I believe. The Sahara and the Red Zeppelin are their tobacco flavors, one being a very full flavor, the other being a light tobacco flavor. Did I mention blueberry? I hope I did. Blueberry, vanilla, Sahara, Red Zeppelin, menthol? Yeah, okay, just making sure. But they come in 5 different flavors. You choose your nicotine content just like anywhere else, but they come prepackaged in little packages like this, so you could grab a couple for the day, right? Just stick them in your pocket. And why I like these too, I'm hoping maybe you'll be able to see, but who knows? They have little condoms on them, right? So you can see they are sealed twice. They're put in the you know, that first layer of packaging there, that aluminum sealed packaging, and then from there, or tinfoil or whatever the hell it is, and then from there they're wrapped in these 2 little condoms. Okay, I kind of like that. Just a little bit of extra security, if you will. That totally went on there the wrong way, but whatever. Deal with that later. So point being, you can stick a couple in your pocket, have a couple different flavors, so you don't get bored throughout the day, which I find myself carrying around at least 3 flavors for the day. So this is nice for me, the ability to just have a couple of those in my pocket rather than 3 whole devices with different tanks on them with different flavors. I kind of like that. That's kind of neat. But what makes this really truly different? Why does this fire at 4.2 volts and this does not? So the owner of Mig Sigs specifically designed this electronic cigarette to contain circuitry that allows it to always fire at 4.2 volts. Okay, so from the first vape after charge to the last vape of the battery, so when it's going to die and will no longer work, it will always fire at 4.2 volts, no matter what, right? Until it's no longer capable of doing so, it then just will no longer fire, right? Little blue light won't turn on. Let me take a vape here, if you don't mind. It's good to vape on camera, or so I'm told. Now, that circuitry will, almost lost my place. That circuitry is the reason why this is just a little bit longer than most of the e-cigs you will find out there. Like this thing, right? There's really not too much to these. It's just the battery and the, you know, whatever kind of cartridge or tank or whatever is on there that interact with one another. So this being that it's manual, but aside from that, that circuit board is real skinny and long and put in there. So it controls, you've got a small circuit at the front to control the LED, and the circuitry to interact with the battery. Always with the burp. Ugh, gross, excuse me. But that alone makes this very interesting to me and kind of fun, to be honest. Since I had never run into this, it's almost like some people may call this ridiculous, but I'm beginning to see myself as more of an enthusiast and a hobbyist of vaping than just vaping to stop smoking, which for me, that's a good thing. I need that in my life. You know what I mean? I need something other than just a way to stop smoking. I needed something that gave me that kind of ritual and something to look forward to doing, you know, every day, just like I had with cigarettes, packing them and ripping the plastic off and pulling the little sleeves out that it came with, the little paper sleeves, and ripping those off. You know what I mean? Flipping a cigarette upside down in the middle of the pack and blah, blah, blah. This gives me something else to do. This gives me things to play with, things to be interested in. So that's another reason just to bring that back as to why this interested me so much. So what does that 4.2 volts mean for you and I? Why is that important? Why would someone make a 4.2 volt Cigalike with no variable voltage or wattage and a single style of cartridge? And just to point that out, this is, to my knowledge, only 808D style connections will fit on this. So this is a little 510 atomizer, okay? It ain't going on there, just period. Just beware, only 808Ds, I believe. So what does that mean? As you saw from the vape earlier, it's a decent performing e-cig. I mean, definitely a step above what I would buy at a gas station, but I will say just a step below something that's variable voltage. While that's more customizable to most users, this is certainly more interesting for a loud noises. Sorry about that. If you can't tell, I live right by a street. This is more suitable for someone like a standard user, right? Someone just getting started that wants to know more about vaping. So that being said, as I love to say, I don't know why, but just in comparison to something like this, the Enjoy King, or even the little 306 that I've got on here, So that 306 performs pretty well, right? But it also required that I buy a 306, buy my own drip tip, buy my own juice. I don't mind doing that. However, someone new, you might just be looking for something like this. Just, you know what I mean? It comes in this nifty, cute little package. It snaps just like a lighter would, you know? You pop this open and just stick it in your mouth. Back to your smoking days, you know? And that doesn't perform half bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. If I were a new smoker, I would say if I had started vaping with this probably would have interested me and made me want to invest in something like vaping. It would have made me go, hey, maybe I can do this vaping thing. Maybe I can give this a shot after all, you know. But then I got this in the mail. Now, let alone the kind of flavor this gets off compared to that, even both of these, to be completely honest. That 306 is definitely right there with it, but this little guy right here, the flavor that these give off is just, it's great. And it's a nice warm vape. It's a minorly warm vape. Not typically like, you know, what you would get out of a low res atomizer, very low wattage, like 3 volt on a 1.5 atomizer. Let's just say you were gonna vape at that level, 1.5, yeah, addy at 3 volts. It's not a very warm vape. It's kind of cool. It's kind of mild, right? These atomizers are what, 2.5 ohms, I think, 2.6 this one is, but most of these are about 2.5 ohms, I think. So at 4.2 volts, you wouldn't expect that to be a warm vape at all, and that still blows me away. Another 2.6. Why you do this? You're supposed to be 2.5-ish. I thought you were 2.5. 2.5, 2.6-ish, plus minus 1. Suck it. But I never expected this to be a warm vape. Not at all. Not remotely. So it's actually kind of pleasant. It's more akin to what I would expect this should have been like. It should give me that cigarette-like feeling. And it's a very cool vape. Not remotely similar. So let's recap. 4.2 volt device, varying battery sizes, circuitry included inside of the battery to keep it always firing at 4.2 volts, similar to how a flashlight works. When you first put the battery in, it's bright. As the battery dies, it's dim and dim and dim until it's dead. This doesn't have that issue. This fires all the way through the life of the battery until it's time to no longer fire, since it can't hit that 4.2 volt, which to me provides a very, very consistent vape, and I love that. That's awesome. Now let's get to my problems with this. The 808Ds, not a big fan of the fact that this is not a 510 connection. This could have been better. It's good. It's very good for someone starting out, but it's not going to appeal likely to people who have been vaping for quite a while. People who have, you know, Evics and Vamos and whatever, you know what I mean? Mechanical mods with 510s, that your big tanks, your Cardos, the things you may love, you're not getting out of this. This is a different system, different style. It's, and honestly, slightly dated. Always with the burps. So just keep that in mind. This will be, though, I can say without a doubt, this will be going in my pocket when I go out in public, out to bars, out with friends maybe that I know have asked me questions about vaping. This will come with me, because this is an excellent comparison for me to what it is to start off with something like this, something high quality, mind you, that you may even find like in a blue. I don't want to compare the two because they're not the same. They're similar in many aspects, but they are not the same thing. But this is more akin to what you'll find in a gas station on the shelf, right? The replaceable cartridges, things like that, and versus something, you know, like my everyday vape. This is what I carry around with me. So someone may not want this. They may want something smaller. They may like something like this, right? Might be more up their alley. And honestly, if that's what it takes to get you vaping away and away from cigarettes, I'm all for that. So this will definitely be going with me. So just again, kind of the wrap up here. I like this little thing. Come in a couple different sizes. The super long battery, as my girlfriend liked to call it, the Corilla DeVille battery, and the shorter version. Both have the lights at the bottom there, the blue ones, replaceable cartridges. And do keep in mind, while you have to go on the site and buy new cartridges, there's a little secret here. These guys, if you're smart enough, I shouldn't say smart enough, but if you're inclined enough, you're able to pop these caps off, wash them out with alcohol, fill them with your own juice, take the plastic wrap off them, and label them yourself even if you want to. You can fill these again and again, as long as the atomizer, you know, doesn't take a crap on you. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to use the same juice that's in here over and over and over. You don't have to keep buying them once they're out. You can refill them. I'm not sure how many people would be wanting to do that, but you certainly can. So that kind of little nifty secret. But the replaceable 808Ds, not really my thing, but again, someone might like them. Someone out there watching this, maybe you'll like this. Let me know. Aside from that though, if you don't like these cartridges, you have other options. So I'm going to show you one I have filled already. So this is the Fusion tank, which this is awesome to me because Mig made this. The owner of the company made this with Kangertech, their assistants. Now I do want to point one thing out. While this was made with Kangertech, and it's made by them, it's made in collaboration with them, it's even got his logo on it, okay? It's not, there are other 808D models out there. The only difference here, aside from just even sheer looks, if you can tell, if you ever had to deal with any of these style tanks, it's a little bit taller. This takes 1.3 mils versus the typical like 0.9 mils that you would get out of the older style tanks, which were also made by Kangertech. So he did work with them to make his own kind of tank that worked with his style Mig Sig. So that, in my opinion, to reach out to another company and say, hey, I have this product and I feel very strongly about it, but I want something better to work with it. So this is what you got. And this one I've already filled. I just like this on this on this retardedly long battery. So, and just for size comparison here, I mean, it's not small at all. This is the size of an unsharpened pencil, like a number 2 pencil, you know. This one is like a number 2 pencil you have used for a couple weeks in school, I guess. I'll say they're certainly not tiny though. They'll definitely fit in the pocket. They don't feel like they're gonna snap or anything, but they're not small. On top of the fact you had that Fusion tank on there, and boom, it's a little bit taller. So just a couple things I want you to notice about this tank. Number one, it's fillable via the top cap. So this unscrews just like other CE4 style tankomizers, clearomizers, whatever. So again, this just screws right in there, and it is kind of tilted to the side. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's tilted this way, it seems. It's tilted down, so that way I'm assuming, so you know you have to fill on the side of it and not directly down the middle of it. But I do notice this this tank has a couple of issues. Number one, the glass, or the plastic, I should say, because it's not glass. This is a tank cracking juice. Be aware that will break this. But that juice, if you can see, it likes to stick in the top there. So if I just let this drain here to the bottom, and then I flip it back up, it likes to just hang out where the wicks are all the time. So it's split like that, and I have to like tilt it to get more juice up there. So, but other than that, I mean, performing not good right there. Okay, something definitely going on there. This usually performs excellently. It's actually kind of shocking to me at the moment that it's not performing that well. I'm dragging like a wiener, that's all. Those perform just as well as these do, if not better, in my opinion. So you have a couple different options. You've got a couple different flavors to choose from, a couple different styles to choose from. So this is not a bad way to go, in my opinion. If you're not wanting to invest a lot of money to get started in vaping, this is certainly a very decent choice to go with over like even I don't want to say over a blue, but even if you've tried a blue and you don't like it, I bet you would like this better. Just let's put it that way. At least I know I did. But the kit, let's talk about the kit. The kit that I got, it had a little bit of extra stuff so I could show you guys. But the kit that you would get is the starter, I believe it's the standard kit plus, okay? So it's it comes with 2 of these batteries, Okay, and they come in this little neat packaging like that. You'll get 2 of these. These are the 280 milliamp hour, and you'll get 2 5-packs of cartridges. And you'll get yourself a charger like this, which, by the way, this thing, don't charge other batteries like that. So while this might screw in here, if I took this atomizer off, it might not actually. No, good, it doesn't. So if you find some other battery that for whatever reason might fit in here, but you're not sure that it should be charged by something like this, if you don't know the connection style of the battery, don't charge it on here. Bad things can happen, and that would make me so sad. So sad. Subscriber down. Don't do that. Just make sure, verify, be safe, confirm what you're doing, you know? Just make sure. That's all I'm saying. But you get this charger with it as well, and that's got a little USB wall adapter, and you can unplug this so you can, I probably shouldn't pull on it like that like an idiot. You can plug this into your computer as well, so while you're, you know, vaping on the go. Woo woo. And yeah, I believe that's it, aside from your awesome user manual that you'll get with comes with your directions on use of the device and pieces, etc., care, things like that. So that's what you get. That'll run you about I believe $60, I want to say. They have other kits on there as well. Replaceable juice. Honestly, in my opinion, the juice is a little overpriced, and even to that point, I'm sorry to say it, but even this tank is like $14, I think. It's either like $7 or $14, but in my honest opinion, it's just a little bit overpriced. And in that case, you can find similar styles of this that are 808D to use, but if you only want to stick with something that's actually confirmed a Mig Sig that you know goes on this battery, you can get them there for about that. But that's your whole package deal right there. That's enough to move you on from cigarettes to this, and at least get you in the door. So in comparison to something like an Ego C Twist that'll run you $30 a battery, it's a little bit more of an inexpensive way to start. So something to keep in mind, take a look at if you're interested. Even for me, like I say, this will be walking around with me. I like it that much. I like this thing. I love this thing. This gives me an excellent vape, and I don't really want to compare this to that at all, but I mean, it's a great vape, but man, for how little this thing is, for how tiny it is, and for what it does, I have no complaints. I cannot complain about this thing. That's great. It's ridiculous. Other than, of course, the things that I said. I already complained about. Maybe I should make that clear. I have my complaints, but I won't complain about it because it is what it is. It's that style. That's the way it was made. It's not fair to make that compete with other products. So that are not in its same ballpark. Just unfair to me. So keep that in mind. To wrap this all up, I did want to talk about just the flavor of all these juices real quick. So just so maybe you might get a sense of what it is you might like when you order. Yeah, let's give it a shot, huh? So this is the blueberry, and you'll notice they all come with different style packaging, right? I've got to say, this blueberry is the most authentic tasting blueberry I've ever actually tasted in a juice. And I want to know what it is. This tastes like eating raw blueberries, literally. Every other blueberry juice I have tried to date, which is several, believe me, they all taste like supreme artificial blueberry, like candy flavored blueberries, right? Or I guess I should say candy flavored like blueberries. It's never given me that kind of tartness which I get from this, and I friggin' love it. It's an excellent choice to start with, in my opinion. But you may not like fruity flavors. In that case, this is menthol. But this, this is that candy flavor that I often get with juices. So this is supposed to be a menthol, as is this. So this menthol flavor is more pepperminty. It's not really mentholated. It just tastes like pillow mints. It tastes like chewing pillow mints, kind of, without the chewing, obviously. Don't chew on this. And this, that's like my old Camel Silvers. You know what I mean? This is not akin to smoking like a Newport or a Camel Silver or anything like that. So don't buy that menthol. If you don't like peppermint, you might not like this. Just saying. Otherwise, I like peppermint, so that's a good flavor for me. This is the Red Zeppelin, which is a full flavor tobacco. And that most certainly is a full flavor tobacco. I do get this slight undertone of this kind of like non-flavored PG juice. So on the inhale, I get that robust tobacco. On the exhale, I get it. But right after, or pardon me, right before on the exhale, I get that kind of sweet, non-flavored PG. Not bad by any means, but I've certainly had better full flavored tobaccos. It's definitely, if I were starting off though, that certainly I would not call that unimpressive. This is the Sahara. I am ashamed. I'm still working out kinks with this friggin' camera. I don't know why it just dies on me like that. So I'm gonna continue on where I was. I'm sorry. It decided I was done recording. I wasn't. So I'm gonna continue on where I was there. I'm not sure if it caught all of what I was doing with this. I probably look like a madman here with all of these, but whatever. So this is the full flavor tobacco Red Zeppelin. And this one, I get the full flavor robustness. Again, I'm sorry if it already caught this, but I get the full flavor robustness from the tobacco. But I get this kind of, this non-flavored PG taste right before I get the robust tobacco flavor on the exhale. I get the tobacco on the inhale. On the exhale, I get that PG, that bland PG taste, and then non-flavored PG, I should add, and then immediately after, I get the actual robust tobacco taste that I'm looking for. So I wouldn't call it unimpressive if I were a new smoker. This is the light tobacco. This is the Sahara blend. And not really too much of a difference between the two. Same on the exhale, same kind of bland PG taste right at the right before I get that tobacco, that herby kind of sharp taste that I'm looking for in a tobacco flavor. But right before it, that bland PG flavor. But I again get the same on the inhale. I get that nice tobacco robust flavor that I'm looking for. So definitely not bad. Definitely akin to a light cigarette, but more of a, not a very light cigarette. That almost reminds me of like a Pall Mall cigarette, or like a Lucky Strike with a big filter on it, I guess. A perforated big filter. This one is the vanilla blend. And that one's great. Hints of vanilla, no floral kind of taste like I was expecting. Such a warm vape. It's almost like vanilla extract in a cloud. That's the best I can give you. It's not an overwhelming, like, punching vanilla flavor like other flavors I've tried. It's a very nice, very subtle, very crisp vanilla flavor. It's very good. Definitely I would recommend. I like these flavors. I'm not, as we've talked about in previous videos, I'm not too big on the tobacco flavors, especially not just the straight tobacco flavors. They're just not for me. You might like them though. Give them a shot. You get two options. Why the hell not? Pick a couple. And definitely consider the fact that you can use those till they're dry and wash them with something, I don't know, like alcohol, vodka, i.e. $3 Walmart vodka. Wash them out and fill them with your own juice. I would suggest keeping these little condoms it comes with for that purpose. You can just flood them and then blow out whatever excess is there. And when I say flood them, just drip juice straight into this. Put the cartridge back in there, okay, with juice in it, and just fill it all up, just like that. Very simple. And then any excess you see at the top that's not filled, you can just drip directly onto it. So keep that in mind. That way maybe you won't have to spend $7-8, or I think it's $6 or $7 for a 5-pack of flavors. He's got deals on there for bigger packages, but just know. I think that is all I have to say about that. Aside from the fact that I did get to speak with Mig himself, and I just wanted to point out one thing. I got to talk with Mig, and I thought it kind of ironic. His name is Mig, right? And it's Mig Sig. It's an electronic cigarette. So I thought it was funny. The connection was made that maybe Mig welding, since it's a coil-based welding, and atomizers, e-cigs, right? He pointed out also that Mig is a fighter jet. So you can make the choice that you like there. I prefer the welding. Thought that those seemed to blend very well to me. But I got to talk with Mig, and the guy is just very genuine. I talked with him for about 20 minutes, and I got a very sincere impression from him that he wants to help people stop smoking, and he wants to offer a quality product. While speaking with him, I mean, and now seeing what he has to offer, I can't say that that impression has faded whatsoever. This is not meant for advanced users, but for what he's putting out there for people to just even start with, or just honestly a disposable if you're on vacation or something and you don't want to take all your crazy expensive stuff, this is the kind of stuff to bring. Plain and simple. It's not fancy. It doesn't have ohms readers, no voltage checkers, etc. It's just straightforward. This is what you get, and I like that a lot. And I mean, I might be biased. I hope I don't come off that way simply because I spoke with him. I guess I should say I may be viewed as biased for having spoken with him prior to reviewing this, but it's nice not only to have that voice, but to see the actual craftsmanship that goes into something after speaking with somebody, or even prior to just putting that voice to this product, that kind of personality. It matched up so well. I had to mention it, you know. Can't say I've ever met another vendor who actually has been producing their own products that I've got to try. So definitely a first for me, and very interesting experience to say the least. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the hiccup. We will probably be doing another video here today because I can. And the lights are set up, and I'm lazy, and I don't want to do it again. Cool. Welcome new subscribers, as always. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Email me questions, PM me questions, comments, whatever you like. And I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, guys, or whatever it might be for you. Have a good one, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye now.